Oh, yes, we are back. UFC is back after a extended 6-week hiatus. Finally, we have some fights to gamble on, and they're this weekend in the form of not a pay-per-view, but a pay-per-view. No more paying. We are on Paramount Plus. ESPN era is over, and we're going to start expeditiously with the first fight of the night. Whew. The first fight after a long break. A UFC debutant, Ty Miller, who we watched on the Contender Series, actually looked pretty good. Going up against Adam Fugit, who has kind of gotten absolutely smoked, but by the very best and brightest prospects of the division. So there's kind of this feel of he's losing, but he's losing to good guys. Can you give him a break? He's older. Ty Miller is young and dangerous and seems to have no real flaw that's super visible other than just inexperience. So I don't know how much you can take away from him there, but he's looked really good on the regionals. He looked great on the Contender Series. And I think that him being a big favorite is justified. I mean, he is probably going to find a finish here at some point. Fugit has been finished. His chin is looking like it's getting somewhat susceptible to damage. And Ty Miller has shown to be almost like, not a Diaz, maybe like a Tim Means. Like he's got long, clean striking, and he's sitting at nice minus 500. Probably the safe parlay piece. I don't know how much you want to lay on just minus 500, but I think he gets it done here, probably by TKO. And I think that's probably how the fight starts. The card starts is with the Ty Miller looking like the real deal prospect that he is and getting a second round TKO over Adam Fugit. Next fight, oh boy, a absolute banger. Kind of kidding. We have Ricky Turcios going up against Cameron Smotherman, and we've seen Smotherman kind of get smothered in the UFC so far. He's looked like an okay boxer. He kind of got absolutely grapple fucked by Ricky Simone. Lucky for him, this Ricky is not going to be shooting many takedowns, especially not to the level that Ricky Simone was shooting. I think we're going to get likely just a volume striking match for 15 minutes. And I feel like Ricky Turcios, unless he has completely regressed, which he has looked to be, will throw more volume. And you're getting a decent price tag at around plus 170 on him. I think for a fight that's likely to just be probably not even many kicks, just a lot of punches at range. Maybe Ricky mixes in a takedown here. I think it's an okay dog shot here. The over is super juiced, minus 300 for the 2.5. Makes sense. I think it's going to be a somewhat medium-ish volume striking fight, and I will take a dog in that sense, but there's no real clean, strong lean I have for that fight. So it's pass or Ricky Turcios. Oh boy. We got the big fellas and the prospects, if you want to call them that. But for me, we have Josh Hokett, minus 225, and Denzel Freeman, plus 185. I've been contemplating a Denzel Freeman dog pick all week. Probably doesn't look great if you just look at his debut where he almost did nothing, just a lot of kicking at range. But he's an accomplished wrestler. We know Hokett is a wrestler himself. Former, I think, former undrafted free agent for like practice squads and stuff for the NFL. Denzel Freeman, D1 wrestler. I believe he was a Marine. Hokett was a middleweight. He's a little bit undersized for the division. Like I think right now it says they're 6'1". I think that's a lie. I think when you look at these two guys next to each other, Freeman is going to look like the much larger guy, not just because he has a 30-pound weight difference, but just because he holds the weight in more of his body. Hokett probably needs to get the wrestling going early. I have question marks about his cardio. He's pretty much just beat a bunch of scrubs thus far. This dog play is more of a bet on Freeman and him being able to counter wrestle, stay on the feet, land some leg kicks, get the hands going, just use his overall size to benefit him in the wrestling, which he's already a good wrestler. And I think we could see Hokett slow down. We've seen him just kind of dominate everyone he's fought so far. So if there's any resistance at this price tag, I don't really like laying minus 230 on a low-level heavyweight fight. I'm much more inclined to take it plus 185 on a guy who I believe is bigger, has the better striking, and has some decent wrestling of his own. I will be taking a dog shot on Denzel Freeman in a prove-it spot for Josh Hokett. If you're the guy that you are telling people you are, come out here and prove it. Oh, yes. If you follow me on Twitter, you see the picks for years. Alex Hernandez is my guy. We will be riding him here. Pause. Minus 145 for Alex Hernandez, plus 125 for Michael Johnson. And man, we have been betting on Alex Hernandez, losing a lot, but recently we've been getting some wins. Big dog price against Chase Hooper. He came through. He knocked out Diego Ferreira. He's kind of coming into his own, and I think this is kind of a perfect matchup for him to continue this streak, because we know what Michael Johnson is. He's a boxer, good boxer, but he's older. That's fair. And he kind of has the stigma of being able to beat anyone on any given day, but also being able to lose to anyone on any given day. And I think the younger Alex Hernandez is going to catch him, because this is more than likely going to actually turn into a pretty good scrap where they're going to be exchanging. And I just trust Alex's striking, cardio, crazy. Trusting Alex's cardio is insane, I'm aware, but I think he can get some wrestling going here. I think minus 145 is more than fair for a guy against Michael Johnson who has almost 20 losses. He's 40. I get it. He just beat the tall South American kid, but that was more of him just not showing up than Michael Johnson really beating him up. It was just kind of a no-show from him. Alex Hernandez is going to keep the ball rolling. It's favored to go the distance, it looks like, and I can see why. It's probably going to be some striking, but just the way Alex fights, it's kind of just car crash after car crash, collision after collision, where someone tends to get caught. And in a striking fight against a 40-year-old who's been finished before, I think Alex Hernandez will be one of my parlay pieces this week. Call it bias, call it unwavering belief. Alex Hernandez, champion, end of the year. We will get back all the money we lost on him against Cowboy Cerrone over a decade ago. Give me Alex Hernandez by KO over a 41-year-old Michael Johnson who has lost to a lot of dudes. Alex Perez going up against Michael Johnson. Alex Perez, like the last fight, has been one of my guys for a long time, but unfortunately he has been just so unreliable. Even when he's looking good, he cannot put it together for a full 15 minutes. It's like until you see him actually win the fight, he's always likely or able to be submitted, finished, injured. It's like the list kind of goes on with this guy where he's just either running into extreme bad luck or is, I don't know if it's like a mental block or something, but he's so talented for when he's on, but he just tends to have these mental lapses that cost him the fight. And I think the situation with Charles Johnson is he is coming into his own. He's kind of, in the beginning of his UFC career, was getting wrestled, grappled, submitted, but by guys that are really solid. And now we've seen him kind of losing split decisions to Tomiev, who popped. He knocked out Josh Van. He's knocking out Loner Kavanaugh. Like, he's kind of coming into his own. And I think this is just two career trajectories in going opposite directions. Charles Johnson is on his way up, kind of hitting roadblocks here and there, but still kind of slowly getting up and actualizing his potential. And Alex Perez actualized it early and is kind of slowly declining, kind of finding success and then keeps going down. I really want to make a dog play on Alex Perez just because he's kind of my guy, but I just don't think he gets it done. I think at this point, the injuries, the amount of losses, the other business ventures that he has is just too much of a distraction. Charles Johnson's a great wrestler, so I don't think Perez is going to be able to get him down often. And I think Johnson is going to have much more volume standing. God, it pains me just because Alex is my guy and he's a dog. If he's going to win, it's going to have to be from takedowns and back control and leg kicks. Maybe he keeps going. He's got a good chin. He can get volume up there too. He can sneak in some cheeky wrestling. Man, it's just, you have to, it's one of those spots where you kind of just have to let your biases carry you if you believe that Perez can get back on the horse and shake off all these losses. He's not super old. He's fought everybody. Charles Johnson is hit or miss. He kind of starts slow. I could see Johnson losing the first round and then turning it on, maybe a split. I don't hate Alex Perez by split decision. I think this fight is going to be close. I don't think he's going to get knocked out by Charles Johnson. I could see him, of course, getting meme subbed, as he always does. For the sake of the video, I will be riding with my guy Alex Perez by decision or split decision, but it does not feel great, and I'm doing it more out of biases than actual analysis, which does not feel great. Oh, baby. This card is just filled with my guys, and they're all underdogs, unfortunately. Nikita Krylov, my king. At one point, I thought was the best 205er in the world, and then he disappeared, went to war for 4 years, came back, and has just been getting absolutely chinned. Man, it's a bummer, because at one time, he was phenomenal. He's a great grappler, at a time was a great striker, and now he has come back and just decided to get chinned by blitzing in with his chin straight up and kind of gotten absolutely nuked. And I don't know if he's going to be able to come back and recover. He's gone flatlined twice in the last 8 months, which is horrible for your chin long-term, short-term, any of it. If he does not come out and proactively grapple immediately, I think he's in for a long night. But lucky for him, Modestas has shown to be able to be grappled. He's shown to be able to get subbed, but he's also shown that he can put you out. I think this fight likely is over in the first 7.5 minutes, probably done in the first. If Modestas wins, he's probably going to just chin Nikita, who has a glass chin at this point, maybe? You don't know. I'm going to be taking Nikita and Nikita by sub and just putting faith that he is coming out ready to wrestle. I've seen him on Instagram posting about wrestling and religion. He's kind of finding himself again, but the damage might already be done here. I think he's never going to be able to beat the top guys at this point just because the damage that he's occurred over the last few fights. But Modestas isn't really a one-punch guy unless he's fighting the bottom of the barrel, but I don't know if you need to be a one-punch guy to knock out Nikita at this point. I will be taking Nikita by sub, plus 600 Nikita sub. That just feels good. I mean, it's his path to victory. If he's going to win, he's not going to want to stay standing against a guy that can knock him out after he just got knocked out twice. Comes out, gets some takedowns, get some back control, dude. Let's ride out the back for a little bit, lock in a rear naked against a guy we've seen get subbed multiple times. He's coming off of being subbed his last fight. Then he chinned like a complete scrub. So I get the Modestas play. I think someone is likely to be finished within the first 7 minutes here, probably in the first round. But for me, like the last fight, we're going to let our biases lean us towards a dog play, and whatever happens, happens. Let's go Nikita Krylov. Oh boy. Everybody's favorite prospect. Look at this dude is so jacked. This is crazy. Yeah, Atiba Gaethje, minus 1,000. He's coming in. Lambda slaughter, Andre Pulaev. It seems like he's going to get knocked out. It's just a matter of how long this fight lasts. You get over 1.5 at plus 170, but it doesn't even feel great. Atiba Gaethje just seems like that guy. He's fucking massive, insane power, great striker, and Pulaev kind of just runs. Maybe he can survive for 7 minutes, but it's just not a play that I like to make. You're not really doing anything with this fight. Maybe what is Gaethje KO is minus 500, round 1 is minus 130. Maybe what you're doing. Gaethje and under 1.5 is minus 200. It's just not really much you can do here, minus the first round prop. Atiba Gaethje knocks this guy out at some point in the first 7.5 minutes. He's a great striker. He's huge. Pulaev can run. He's going to try to clinch, but man, Gaethje just looks like he just looks like he's the actual prospect of the 185 division. He's young, maybe not as young as he says he is, but 24, a demon. Super powerful, obviously, and is going to continue this run this weekend as a minus 1,000 favorite. Okay. And you thought minus 1,000. Surely that is the biggest favorite of the card, right? No. Umar Nurmagomedov, minus 2,000 favorite going up against Davison Figueiredo. And it seems like it's just a matter of time. Davison is kind of just outgunned everywhere here. Umar, short of Davison pulling the craziest guillotine of all time in the first shot that Umar takes, he's just going to get ridden for as long as this fight goes. I could see Umar getting a sub, could see Umar getting a late sub. I think he does whatever he wants here. Davison is older. We've seen him kind of soft quit in fights, like gets choked out, he gets tired. If he's a hammer, he's willing to be there, but as soon as he starts to be the nail, it's over and he finds the door. Offensively grapple, but he's not going to be able to do that here. He's not going to strike. Umar is going to take him down, and I think he just gets a sub here in the first 2 rounds. I think Davison realizes he's in for a long night and pulls a John Cena. Umar by sub, probably in the first round and a half. Jean Silva going up against Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen is finally back after a long hiatus, after another hiatus, came back, fought Giga. I don't know. At this point, he's a pretty one-dimensional, low-volume boxer, and Jean Silva is just going to have more volume and more power and has some grappling upside. I think Jean Silva looks pretty good here. He's minus 300, which doesn't feel great for what's likely to just be mostly a boxing, striking affair. I could see John Silva maybe finishing. I think Arnold Allen needs to keep this fight calm, cool, and collected. And if he opens up the door for a brawl, he's in for a long night. I think John Silva is just one of those guys. Arnold Allen, I can't really trust him to win a fight at this point, especially against the unknowns and the aggressiveness of Silva. Arnold needs a lower volume guy that he can go to a decision with. I don't think John Silva is going to give him that opportunity. I think Arnold Allen has kind of had his career derailed by injury. He had that one crazy performance against Dan Hooker where he just blitzed him, and the rest has been relatively underwhelming. John Silva just got knocked out by Diego Lopez, but it kind of felt obviously a spinning elbow is what it is, but it felt like John Silva was going to start putting him away there. It kind of felt like the tide was turning, and then he just kind of walks into an absolute meme. Happens. The damage is still there, though, so maybe there's a lingering concussion effect, and he's gonna... I just feel like Arnold Allen is just not a dangerous guy. He doesn't really finish fights. He's a low-volume boxer. It kind of is what it is. I think John Silva wins here, probably 29-28, 30-27 decision. Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva. And this one I've been talking myself into here, and Rose has not looked great recently. Natalia Silva has looked great recently. But, big ol' but. Natalia Silva at minus 400? Really? I don't know about that. And I don't think Rose necessarily wins, but I think plus 300 for a fight that's likely to go the distance. It's probably going to be no one really landing many devastating shots. I think Rose might have some grappling upside here. I just feel like you can talk yourself into a plus 300 Rose play pretty easily. The over 2.5 is minus 500. I don't know, dude. I just think for a fight, like, I get it. Likely Natalia Silva just kind of keeps the footwork, stays on her bike, kicks from the outside range, and lands more volume. But would it be the craziest thing ever if a close fight gets handed to Rose Namajunas? I don't know, dude. I think we could see a close fight. Natalia's probably going to win. Maybe you take I think the best play is probably the Rose plus 3.5. That seems phenomenal. She can win a round, right? She going to get finished? No, there's no one going to finish in this fight. Give me Rose plus 3.5, a sprinkle on the money line, and then maybe even another sprinkle on split decision. I think the fight's going to be a lot of kicking from the outside, maybe some clinch work from Rose if she can get her game going, maybe a cheeky takedown here or there. Natalia is probably going to win, but at plus 300, I'll take a little stab on Rose, and then plus 3.5, I think is really good. Give me Rose plus 3.5. The big boys. Peptide Derek Lewis is here to stay. Plus 255? Like, how do you not take a shot at the Black Beast at those odds? Sure, Waldo has looked awesome. He's not really shown a chin problem, but it doesn't matter. Derek Lewis at plus 255, we know what's going to happen. He's going to come out and swing, and if it connects, you go to sleep. And if not, he's probably going to give up in the second round, get tired, and get finished. But at the current odds, Derek Lewis round 1 KO 7-1. What are we doing? Flip a coin and you're getting 7-1 on a coin flip for the first round. Waldo probably wins. He's younger, more volume, kind of just better at this point. Derek Lewis is 40, but he looks to be in career best shape. He says he's in career best shape, and it's a heavyweight fight. At this point, Derek Lewis can knock out anyone on the planet. You're going to give me plus 700 on round 1 KO for Derek Lewis? Come on. What are we doing here? Give me Derek Lewis round 1 KO 7-1. And if for some reason this fight gets out of the first round, nuke Waldo. Because if this fight gets out of probably the first 3 minutes, Derek likes to do some weird shit to engage off the rip. He does the flying kick, he does the knee, he just kind of gets the fight going immediately. And if you survive that initial burst, he kind of just shells up and we go on to the next one. But if he lands and just kind of blitzes you, that's how he's winning these fights now. And I think 7-1, let's have some fun. Sugar Sean going up against Yadong Song Yadong. And Sean, minus 200, it's a pretty good price. We know what's going to happen here. These guys are going to stand and they're going to scrap. And Sean will likely keep distance, keep on his bike, stay moving, and probably land more volume. Song's reach, let me see here, he's down a lot in reach, and he's shorter. And Sean, who is a sniper and keeps the range and stays on the outside really well, I think can kind of it's like a perfect matchup almost for Sean to kind of do whatever he wants. I don't think he finishes. Song has shown no issues with chin. He's an absolute bulldozer, but I think Sean looks great for 15, gets himself back in the title picture. Maybe Song gets too aggressive and walks into a monster knee or something, but I think Sean just stays on the outside, plays it safe, gets his win, and gets back into the title picture. I mean, if he loses to Song, like you said, he's probably going to retire, whatever he said. But for me, Sean, higher volume, higher defensive metrics, and I just got to ride with the kid. Minus 200 is a good price for this fight. That should be pretty much everything in his favor. Song not really going to come out and wrestle. And that is why we will be taking Sean by decision. And the price is pretty solid for someone who's been a huge favorite recently. You get plus 115 on decision. I mean, maybe he knocks him out, but I think we just go 15, and it's somewhat of a masterclass for Sean O'Malley. Main event, we're here, and man, I just am having a hard time not pulling the trigger heavily on Paddy by sub. Justin threatens to retire if he doesn't get a title fight. He's shown a complete lack of ground game ability in high-level spots. He has staff for weeks leading up to the fight. He's developed a golf addiction. He is kind of just complaining the entire camp about being tired and having to take days off, and how he lost to Charles Oliveira because he got in a bike accident. And it's just like there's just a lot of bad vibes coming from the Justin camp, and kind of the opposite, where Paddy is looking to be absolutely diced, career best shape. Justin's older. It's like Paddy minus 230 feels great. I think he's just going to come in, probably have some issues in the first. It's probably going to be hairy in the first round. But if this goes to the ground for even a second, it's almost like just going to be an insta-sub for Paddy. Justin really looked like he's pulled back on the training, the intensity, the lifestyle. He's threatened retirement. He's golfing all the time. Like, I just don't know how locked in he is for this fight. And now we know he had staph on his neck, and it's just like everything is just leaning in Paddy's favor. Sure, his striking is questionable and all of that, but I think the discrepancy in the striking is tenfold on the ground. And Justin's a good wrestler, kind of, I guess. Fiziev took him down. Like, how good of a wrestler are you if Fiziev's getting takedowns on you? And I just think it takes one weird scramble, drop. Justin throws fucking everything into punch and he slips. It's happened a ton of times. And I think Paddy just locks in on the grappling here, gets a takedown. I'm going to say round one's a little hairy. Justin lands a leg kick maybe, throws some punches. But if this gets out of the first round and Justin hasn't done some significant damage, I think he is going to get mopped up, taken down, and choked. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning. I think the Paddy money line is good. Sub plus 140 doesn't feel great, but I get it. I would maybe look for like the 2, 3, 4 sub prop at 6-1. That feels okay. 2, 3, 4 is 4-1. I think that's good. I lean Paddy here. The striking's a little iffy, but the grappling is just so heavy in his favor that I think I have to lean him heavily here. Going from the top, we go Paddy the Baddy, Sean O'Malley, Derek Lewis, dog number 1. Rose, we're kind of taking a shot on her spread, plus 3.5, moneyline shore. John Silva feels good. Umar and Atiba are, they are what they are. Dog number 3, Nikita Krylov, submission, please. Alex Perez, I'm just kind of talking myself into it, just in saying he's going to get a couple takedowns and land some more leg kicks. It's just going to be a close fight, and I'll take the plus 160. Alex Hernandez, my dog, taking him to win by knockout. Denzel Freeman, another big dog. We're taking him and just hoping that he doesn't get finished in the first. I want to see this Josh Hokett extended out of the first round and not being just an absolute smashing hammer as the fight starts. I want to see a little bit of adversity from him and see if he's as good as he says he is. Tercios will take a decision prop. I think is probably going to go 15, and he's going to likely land more volume. Not a great fight, I don't think. And then Ty Miller, huge favorite. I think justified. He looked great in the Contender Series. He's young and dangerous. Give me Ty Miller, KO. And that wraps up we are back. UFC 324. Thank you for watching. Check out the shorts for all of our fun little content that we make. Appreciate you. We're back.